It is great to be alive on a Wednesday evening, 9:30 Eastern time, that is, with your boys reporting eligible. I'm your host, Berto, host of the 95 North Falcons talk show. That is Bro Talk, host of his very own show at Dirty Bird Central. And together we are reporting eligible. Bro Talk, what it do, man? How you been?
It was an interesting one. It was an interesting one in Falcons Twitter. Lots of opinionated people. I had time today. I normally let that stuff roll off the back, but I had time. I had fun with it.
Yeah, okay. Obviously, the Falcons having a lot of fun today. And some breaking news. Falcons have restructured safety cornerback AJ Terrell's deal.
Yeah. I think that was just a mistake, a typo.
That is a massive typo.
But we are talking about versatility, right, on the defense. So, hey,
yeah, man.
Rotate to safety, AJ.
That's right. But no. In lighter news, the Falcons did make some contractual movements to get us either cap compliant or just under the cap, as the Falcons were in the negative spot again, in upwards of, I think, 12 million or 14 million, somewhere around that range. But they did tap into resources with Chris Lindstrom restructuring his contract, saving about 10 million. Same with AJ Terrell, saving another 10 million. And also Jake Matthews' contract kicks in with an extra 2 million, bringing that total to 12 million that the Falcons have now under the cap, which are moves coming, or are we using this for next month's draft class that is hot and incoming into Flowery Branch?
Hey, so don't expect any moves. I know a lot of people, when they see money shuffling around, they're getting all hyped. Oh, what are we going to do? Everybody relax. We need about 8 to 10 million to sign our draft class. We needed to get cap compliant. I'm sure the league was calling the Falcons and saying, hey, you're in the negative. We don't want to fine you or any type of picks or money. So get the stuff done. And they got applied today. The team didn't report it. It was reported by Spotrac. If you guys want to know more about the cap and see the numbers, go visit their website. Really good insight. So Terry still has plenty in the books, right? We know Terry likes to go into the season with a little bit of cushion.
Yeah.
Right. Jordan Fuller and Jamal Agnew's numbers haven't hit. Right. Those shouldn't be terribly a whole heck of a lot. So we could see another restructure, a potential cut. I know a lot of people like to say David Onyemata is kind of safe, but maybe they're waiting until post June 1st. Maybe they draft someone that replaces him. I don't know. But shout out to Will, who says this is the best part of his week, this show. Wow. Thank you, Will, for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate everyone that's here.
Absolutely. And with that, man, we'll go right through the chat. Gap Boy, what's happening? 95 North in Falcons family. The new era is here. The Falcons will rise in 2025 and beyond. Certainly love that optimism there. Our brother Dwayne Ruffin from sunny SoCal. What is going on, brother? Shouting you out there, Bro Talk. Oblivion Empire, what's going on, my guy? Christian, what's happening? Will Morrison again. Appreciate the kind words. John Brooks, what's going on, my guy? Hope all is well with you, man. But yes, man, covering up some of the news and transactions that happened with the Atlanta Falcons. We just recapped those. But moving on. Oh, this was the loaded one. Drum roll, please. Have the Falcons gotten for better or worse in 2025?
Listen. For those of you that are active on Twitter, you may have seen something I put out, right? Because someone on ESPN, I still don't know who the writer is, right? Someone ranked all 32 teams based off their offseason moves. And guess who they ranked as the 32nd team? The Atlanta Falcons, right? Yes. Everybody hated the moves, right? So everyone's talking about, oh, well, we didn't get better. So then I questioned everyone on social media. Did we get worse? My answer is no, we didn't. Did we get better? No, we didn't. This is about I'm not saying we got better. I'm not saying, oh, yeah, 13, 14 win season incoming. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But let's pump the brakes and use our brains a little bit of perspective, guys. The offense minus Drew Dahlman is essentially the same. Ryan Nuzile came in, and sure, he's not as good as Dahlman, but he did enough to help us He has Chris Lindstrom to his right. He has an ascending Matthew Bergeron. We're fine on offense. Yeah. Michael Penix, sure, 4-game snapshot. If you have your reservations because he hasn't played a whole lot, I understand. I think he has the tools. Zach Robinson takes the next step as a play caller. Bijan Robinson, you go down the list. We're fine on offense. Defensively, we just replaced one guy with another guy.
That's basically it, man.
Basically it. We reloaded, right? The market was the market. Sure, some of these contracts were a little inflated, and maybe Divine Diablo shouldn't have gotten as much as he did, but it was less than other guys were getting that probably weren't as good or the same caliber of player, right? Everyone in my comments saying, well, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, how does that make any sense? As long as you're not going down, which I don't think the Falcons did, we have a real shot. Berto, do you know how many games we lost by 1 score or less last season?
Somewhere 6 or 7 games or something like that.
6 games.
Yeah.
By 8 points or less. Whether it was a field goal, a touchdown, whatever. I'm not saying we can win all those games, but if you win 50% of those plus the games you won, well, now you're talking about an 11-win season, right? And everyone wants to talk about, oh, the Falcons had the easiest schedule last year. On paper, Minnesota, Washington, and Denver all exceeded expectations.
Big time.
Big time, okay? It wasn't as easy as everyone thought, including myself. I was like, okay, this is our year. No, it didn't happen. But I digress. A lot of people want to come at me. A lot of people say, chat, a lot of people say I force my positivity or my optimism. There's nothing fake about Bro Talk. I put out what's in my mind and what I think. Whether your mindset aligns or it doesn't have to align. You don't have to align with everything I say.
True.
Right? That's the whole point of sports, and that's the beauty. And you may give me a different perspective and actually make me think and be like, oh, I didn't think about that. But at the same time, if you're looking for optimism, I will give you that. Sure. And to say 2025 is going to be abysmal, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think folks.
What do you think? What do you think, Berto? Tell me.
I just think I think it has to do a lot with names, right? Sure. The Matthew Judon and the Justin Simmons departure. What did we bring in? Jordan Fuller, Divine Diablo. Those aren't sexy moves, right? I think the fan base just is enormed with sexy names. The Trey Hendricksons, the Myles Garretts. Whoever is hot and trending is what we kind of go towards. And while that's good, there's nothing wrong with that. Realistically, we have to look out our expectations and look at what we can work with. Right now, our cap situation led us to guys like Morgan Fox and Leonard Floyd. But guess what? These were 2 active guys on their respective teams last year that bring a culture that Raheem wants to instill within this defense. Leonard Floyd, no stranger to Raheem. Morgan Fox doesn't have the connection, but brings the tenacity that you want in this defensive line. So while we can harp and say, oh man, Grady, we lost Grady. Yeah, we didn't really lose too much out in Grady. I think we gained more with Fox.
We lost a piece of us. There's no doubt about it, right?
Absolutely, right. Right.
No one's saying that, but I agree with you, Berto, the production wasn't there. Everyone talks about production. Okay, yes, maybe you lost leadership in the locker room, but you didn't lose Jesse Bates.
No.
You didn't lose Jesse Bates. Caden Ellis is a sneaky leader as well. He's vocal, and he's going to have to step up. Maybe we don't have one in the defensive line. Maybe Leonard Floyd said in his press conference, he's more of an actions, not word. Grady was a bit of both. Yeah,
and you know what? Speaking of Leonard, man, that press conference that he had kind of struck a chord, man. I'm ready to see what he's going to bring to the table in Atlanta this season, dude. Tenacity, can't measure that. The heart cannot measure that, and I think he fucking exudes both, and I can't wait to see that.
The biggest thing is a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people heard this when in his press conference, he's, that everyone poked fun. It's like, hey, Leonard, what do you think if they draft a pass rusher? You're going to be upset. Right, kind of poking it last year. Everyone had a good laugh, right? I was kind of taken aback, like, oh my gosh, someone actually asked that. But he welcomed it because he said, we need to be like a basketball team where we can rotate, where everyone eats, right? Whoever has the hot hand, right? In basketball, whoever has the hot hand is getting fed, right? And so it has to come from all people. So yes, Atlanta may not have a superstar like a TJ Watt, a Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, Micah Parsons, but we could potentially draft one. But at the same time, we're looking for everyone to eat. And that's what Raheem's trying to build is a team. A
Yes.
team, not just names that we have to overspend on, like the Bengals are going to, right? How much money do they have tied up potentially in 4 players, right?
Yeah.
Now they have to hit on their draft. Whereas the Falcons are trying to build a cohesive unit.
Yep.
They feel like they have that on offense. Now they're trying to do that on defense.
Yeah, man.
And that's a process. And I get it.
Process.
I get it. We've had losing seasons since 2017. I'm tired of it too.
Me too.
But at the same time, when Raheem was brought in, even though Terry wasn't fired, it was a mini reset because the culture shifts, right? No way, shape, or form can you think that Arthur Smith's culture was going to translate into Raheem's. There's absolutely no way.
No.
So it's a mini reset. Sorry, a little bit.
No, you're good. No, go ahead, man. Shit, that's awesome. That's knowledge that folks need to be tapped into. So yeah, I mean, for me, I don't think the Falcons got worse. I think that it's a push, for me. It's there. It is what it is on paper. Obviously you're going to add on to what we've already acquired through the draft. And like you mentioned, we're just going to continue to build, a la what the Rams did in 21. Sure, like you mentioned, credit to you for mentioning this earlier. We don't have a superstar in the form of, in the form of Aaron Donald. Raheem doesn't have that, but his job is to find something or somebody or a semblance to what he had on that defensive line rotation with the Rams in 21 to just keep constant pressure for all 4 quarters. I'm liking it. I'm digging it. And this draft is a get right draft for me in terms of the trenches. There's so many prospects that that are out there. So I'm excited. I can't wait. We do have a quick question here. This is for my guy Bino, man. He's been asking, and I'm definitely gonna ask you about this one. Trayvon Walker to Atlanta, please. Your thoughts right quick on what you feel. I know we spoke about it briefly last week. It's tough to hear a name like this, such a prime, in his prime still, but a young pass rusher like Trayvon Walker being available. What do you say? Is this just smoke, really, just to try to feel the landscape on what potentially could happen?
Of course, you want everyone to be available in the Falcons to get him, but I don't think Trayvon Walker is truly available. I believe he's on his 5th-year option this year, and the production this year will determine whether or not the Jags really extend him. The Jags have a lot of money tied up in Josh Allen-Hines, Trevor Lawrence, some offensive linemen that they've signed. Like, they have a lot of money tied up. Could the Falcons go get him in free agency next year? I think that would be the player to go get, because Trayvon Walker was one of those players like a Dallas Turner, Shamar Stewart, Mykel Williams that had the physical traits but needed to be developed. What better time to land him than in free agency when he has developed into a double-digit sack guy? So this season, no. Next season, if he hits the market, absolutely. You go get him, and that's where you string at the heartstrings. Hey, come back home. Leonard Floyd, right? Come back home. That's what Danielle Hunter did. He went back home to Houston, right? Instead of coming to Atlanta. That was the main reason. Plus taxes in Texas. No income tax. But anyways, that's when you go attack and go get Trayvon Walker.
And the cap opens up next year for the Falcons.
Yes,
that too. Main players in free agency, we suspect next year. But going through the chat right quick, the Birdcage LLC, folks, let me tell you something right quick. No one's doing interviews aplenty like the Birdcage. Always having fantastic guests on their show. Last week, no shortage of that, man. Steve Weish was on the perch on the Birdcage LLC. Make sure you guys go show some love, and please hit that subscribe button for Brian, the historian, and the illustrious Birdcage LLC. We got some more heavy hitters in here, man. Big Low Country. What's going on, man? Absolutely. The tribal chief is in the house. What's happening, Big Low?
The tribal chief?
Yeah, you know it. Miss Lisa Shepard. How you doing, Miss Lisa? Glad to see you on here. But definitely, man, definitely appreciate all the love and support from everybody. Our guy, Tony Wright, is in the house also, man. So quickly moving through. The Browns are heavily linked to these Atlanta Falcons. Now, we saw another domino fall with Russell Wilson signing with the Giants, just recently signing Jameson Winston to a 2-year deal. Russell there on a 1-year deal. Now it's are we waiting for the Aaron Rodgers effect to kick in? Who's he going to pick? Is he going to go to Minnesota and just be a thorn on the side of Green Bay, or is he going to Pittsburgh? I find that a weird match as it is, but is Pittsburgh a possibility for Aaron Rodgers? What do you think?
I think so. Reports came out from Josina saying that when he was there in Pittsburgh's facility, it wasn't more of like, let's crunch numbers. Him and Arthur Smith actually watched film and bounced ideas off of each other to see if they were aligned. She said it was a great visit. It's just a matter of Aaron saying, all right, let's get a deal done. Could he go to Minnesota? That would be funny, right? A la the Brett Favre cycle, and then it's just quarterback controversy, right? Let the media go from Atlanta to Minnesota, right? With J.J. McCarthy there, who's supposed to be QB1. I think it's smoke and mirrors with Minnesota, honestly. I think Pittsburgh's his landing spot, and that puts Cleveland in quite a bit of situation. And I think it's always been Cleveland, right? We've always just trying to find a trade partner for the Falcons. Sure. But I think it's always been Cleveland. You find, look, okay, so you could do this year's draft class. Like if it's on a draft day, I don't even care. Give me pick 255 for all I care and take his contract. I don't care. Anything at this point for Kirk Cousins is a win because he doesn't need to be here, right? Even though if he is a backup here, I think his what's the word? His professionalism will keep him in line, but at the same time, his agent will be chiming into the Schefters, the Rappaports, and causing unnecessary turmoil. So Kevin Stefanski is a fan of Kirk Cousins. They did good things in Minnesota together. Deshaun Watson dropping the ball, tearing his Achilles again. There's no shot they go into next year with Kenny Pickett as their quarterback one. Could they draft Shador? I think so. But I think they also understand that they don't really want to develop. I think Kevin Stefanski might be on the hot seat. And he may want to try and be competitive. And even though Kirk's not what he once was, he knows what Kirk can do for his offense. And they invested in the offensive line. You draft Abdul Carter, who Adam Schefter is already saying he is the favorite at number 2. Once Kirk sees who they take at number 2, he's calling Terry and say, go ahead and waive it, come to an agreement, send me to Cleveland.
Send me to Cleveland. Now, we can agree to disagree, but I feel like the Falcons, in order to make anything happen, will have to eat a substantial portion of that Kirk Cousins deal.
I think for this year.
They will. With that, we have some draft picks on this board from Cleveland that, 104 looks good, and one of those 6th-round picks look good.
You know what? If you can finagle them for 94, say you keep your higher, you keep your 3rd-round pick, give us 94 so we can eat the contract. And maybe we could split, this is how you can sell it. Maybe we could split it the following years because the cap does explode. Savings the coming years for Kirk Cousins' contract is going to be there. So if Terry is able to land a 94, I better see some freaking apologies heading his way. Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because that would be, no one in their right mind thinks he can get a 3rd-round pick. But if he does, like he got a 2nd-round pick for a declining Julio, he got a 3rd-round pick for a declining Matt Ryan. I mean, he's proven that he can do it.
Oh, now, brother. Does the cheap heat stop? I don't want to bring that back up.
I mean,
oh my God.
Can he do it? Yes.
It happens.
Right? We're all trying, we're just trying to keep a realistic mind. But of course, I'm with you, Berto. The higher the pick, the better, right?
The better.
And the selling point is like, look, you already have Deshaun's contract. We're going to eat this contract. You get yourself a starting quarterback, cough up the 3rd-round pick or the 4th round.
Now, within this little segment that we just put out, right, you mentioned something interesting, and that's Kevin Stefanski possibly being on the hot seat, right? Say, Cleveland's year doesn't go the way it should, and by team expectations, he gets canned. Zach Robinson turns in another wonderful offensive season for these Atlanta Falcons. Is it gonna happen?
You know as well as I do, it's an offensive league, right? And if Michael Penix lights it up and you see the sack numbers aren't there for New Zealand, like say New Zealand's there, Robinson's having an all-pro year. If he has that type of year, you better believe Cleveland's going to be calling and asking for an interview. Now, whether or not he accepts it, he could do a la Ben Johnson. Say, I don't want to go to Cleveland. I'd rather stay in Atlanta.
I'd much rather Zach do that, learn the league a little bit more and just take the Ben Johnson route. It's a copycat league. Listen, we've done it. Well, we tried to do it with Penix and Kirk. It just didn't work that way. But there was a plan in place for that situation to unfold.
And now look, the Giants. Look, people think because they signed Russell Wilson, they're not taking a quarterback.
Oh,
absolutely not.
Yeah,
they're going to take Shedeur, and everyone is now copying the Falcons model, right?
Mm-hmm.
Forget the noise, forget positional value. If you have a guy that you really love and like, take him, bench him, right? Let him sit behind Jameis and Russell Wilson, and then, and in my opinion, before the year's up, Shedeur is going to be the starter for the New York Giants.
Bold. Wow. Hey, listen, it
because
can happen, man.
Because look, what is Malik Neighbors going to struggle with? He's going to struggle getting the ball because Russell Wilson is a sideline thrower, deep ball finesse.
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors is a flats guy. He's a middle of the field, and that's what Russell Wilson doesn't do. Plus, that offensive line is terrible. He doesn't handle pressure well. He fumbles the ball a lot. It's just a recipe for disaster. Whereas Shedeur knew he had a bad offensive line at Colorado. He understands what he needs to do, and you give him that
run, man.
Yeah, exactly. You give him 10 weeks to learn, and it's Brian Daboll's guy. Come on, dude. Brian Daboll's got your work. Remember when Sean Payton blew up at Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
You better believe Brian.
You better believe it.
He's going to do the same thing.
Hell yeah. And, yeah. Point made. What up, Ed Mitchell? So, without further ado, this portion of the show we dedicated to the mock draft 2.0. We've already done a mock draft a little under a month ago, our first one, and here's 2.0. This is post Falcons free agency thus far. Falcons could make more moves, but right now, as it stands, we're at a standstill in the free agent market. So why not bless with another mock draft? And Bro Talk, if you could bring up.
Share my screen. Let's see. Share screen. Mock simulator. Share. Mm-hmm. Is it sharing?
Yep.
You got it? Right. Okay. You want me to zoom out, or is that good?
It should be good. Yeah. That's perfectly right. Wait, what number are you at? 175?
150.
150, go 175.
You want 175?
Yeah, go up a little bit more. We have a question here. It says, are you guys going to do trades for your mock or not?
I had planned on it.
Yeah. I think we'll do that one closer to the official draft day. I think that would be fun.
Okay. Yeah. We can do, because we'll do another mock draft. This isn't the last one.
No.
So we're just gonna go as it's gonna be simulated for the rest of the teams. We're only gonna be picking for Atlanta. Actually, let me go back and slow down the speed so we can talk as the draft is going down. Round 7. Falcons. All right. So this will go a little slower. We'll see what happens, right? Remember, if you've never used PFF's model, they have their own rankings. It takes into account what fans have done, also what teams might do as far as positional need. It's kind of a mixture of both. So you really don't know where you're going to go. Okay.
Right on.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's see if PFF actually takes Cam Ward. We know Cam Ward's going number 1, but let's see. Here we go. Yep, there it is. Shedeur to the Browns. That would eliminate any type of possibility for Kirk Cousins. Look at that.
Dude, it's going pretty quick.
Victoria McMillan and Tyler Warren in the division.
You want to pause it so we can recap? Boom. On the clock. Let's recap very quick what teams have done thus far. That went pretty quick. So, yes, it's a given. Cam Ward to the Titans feels organic. They, I guess they've sent most of their scouts and most of their brass.
They're having a private workout as well.
Have a private workout with them. So that's a marriage right there. Interesting to see what happens with Will Levis. He'd be an intriguing option for another team out there if they decide to move on from him. Shedeur at number 2. I don't know about that one.
I don't think that's what actually happens. But in this scenario, the Browns take a quarterback. Again, if that happens, that eliminates any possibility, in my opinion, of a Kirk trade. That would hurt us. Big time it would, man. And then at number 3, the Giants go with best player available Abdul Carter. So how do you think that pairs with Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau already there?
I mean, if Abdul, so at this point, if I'm the Giants, I'm receiving phone calls, seeing who wants to move up at that point. Like you said, they just paid Brian Burns. You have a Kayvon Thibodeau. Unless they don't really trust Kayvon Thibodeau, I think when he was drafted out of Oregon, they expected more production out of him than what he's been showing. Could they elect to move on from him? There's a possibility. And if they do, that's a perfect insurance plan right here, having Abdul Carter up the sleeve.
Yeah.
I hear you, buddy.
I mean,
why not?
Change of scenery, right? Number 4, I think, is a given. Travis Hunter. I actually think, this is my bull take, I think he will play both ways in the league.
You think so?
Because the game is slower in the NFL than it is in college.
It is.
And you know what? They signed Carlton Davis. They have Gonzo, right? Christian Gonzalez. Put Travis Hunter in the nickel, dude. Put him in the nickel and let him go to work. And that way, when they're in a base defense, he's off the field.
Yeah.
I think primarily he'll play wide receiver. But either way, I don't think the Patriots can go wrong wherever they play him.
And wouldn't it be fitting, right? New England, no stranger to having their own two-way player in the form of Troy Brown.
Wow.
Way back in the day.
Deep in your bag there, sir.
Okay. Showing the age a little bit here, but no grays.
Right. Mike Vrabel playing a little bit of tight end and goal line.
So it kind of plays into their mold already in fashion. So, hey, who knows? But for me personally, after the Stephon Diggs signing, 3 years, $65 million. Oh, my God. Okay, they're doing that in New England. Sure, have at it. That kind of nicks this one for me. I think they've done a pretty good job or a great job at that, building the defense. Offensive lineman seems fitting here. Amar Membu, for me, the kid out of Missouri, is just skyrocketing up, draft charts. Will Compton, long arms, Will Compton at that.
Campbell.
Compton, I get the damn two. It's a C.
Campbell.
Campbell, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm blaming it on that. It's the accent, damn it. So that guy, he gets, but I think Membu jumps him.
I actually think Membo will be the first offensive tackle taken. I'm with you there. I'm with you there. All right. So number 5, Mason Graham. I think we're all in agreement. That's where they're going.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, they need help. They have edge rushers. Their linebackers are pretty okay. Defensive backs, sure, they could go Will Johnson here, but I think they go Mason Graham.
Absolutely, man. Ashton Jeanty to the Raiders. That seems like
I think that's what happens. I think that's what happens. You pair him up with Geno, Chip Kelly, Brock Bowers. Like, that offensive line isn't bad. Right. They just had bad quarterback play.
That's it, man.
I think Geno Smith's probably going to have the best offensive line he's had in his career in Las Vegas, which is crazy to think about.
Crazy, absolutely.
And then we just talked about Armand Membo.
Yep, that's where Campbell can go here, because
I do think the Jets will surprise people and go offensive tackle. I'm with you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will. Absolutely. I do think that because you drafted Olo Fashanu. Yep. You lost both of your veteran tackles to free agency. The interior is good, but you got to get the right tackles. And then you drafted one, now you drafted another, and then boom, you're anchored on both sides.
Absolutely. And with their new quarterback there, Justin Fields, got to kind of keep them upright as well. Oh, my mom's in here. What's going on, Mom?
What's up, everyone?
Man. What's going on? Cameron Scott, what's happening, man? We got the GOAT in here, Damsky. Absolutely. What's happening, brother?
Damsky. Now look at this. Tatoria McMillan.
Yeah,
I don't want him in the division, but this does seem like a spot. Bryce Young, I mean, they drafted Xavier Legette, 32 last year. Mm-hmm. They have Jalen Coker. Adam Thielen came back. To me, I think they still could go edge. Michael Williams' name screams at me right here.
Yes.
But McMillan there? I would hate it. And then Tyler Warren to the Aints. I mean, it does scream like a Kellen Moore type of move with the new regime there. I would
like Tyler. I like Warren a lot.
I would hate
Penn State, man. I would hate him in the division.
Hate it.
But to me, he just he reminds me a little bit of Kittle, in terms
Dallas
of
Clark,
movement.
Baby.
Dallas Clark is
Clark.
the fucking calling for this guy, man. Absolutely, man. But yes, all in all, I don't want this guy in the gut.
Honestly, if he's there for Chicago, that's where I think his best spot is. Let Ben Johnson run some 12 personnel, and he played some Wildcat, kind of like Taysom Hill does for New Orleans, and I think he could do the same thing for them. He's a safety blanket for quarterbacks.
Yeah. So, and then you're talking what, Saints here, or?
Well, if he went to the Bears.
If he went to the Bears, gotcha.
Yes.
Could we have 2 running backs go in the top 10? Is that crazy to even think for the Bears instead of going Jahdae Barron?
No, it's not. You could get someone like Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina.
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, Omarion Hampton to go there. He's a bigger back. I think Ben Johnson would have a field day using him like he would want to have used David Montgomery and with the Bears. Or with the Lions, excuse me. So maybe running back there. We have a first in a draft, 2 running backs in the top 10.
Top 10. No, but the closest thing was when Bijan and then Jahmyr Gibbs.
Well, yeah, you can actually say it was. Yeah, it's true.
It was close. It was 8 and then 12 for Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think so.
So it's pretty close. So you could see it. Now you have the top 10 in this draft. You have Jahdae Barron. Who's a little bit of a surprise to Chicago, but maybe they slide him into the nickel, maybe the outside. I'm not sure about I know they have what's his name, Jalen Johnson,
yeah.
And then their nickel, what's his name, Stevenson, I think. Stevenson. I think so. He does a little Spider-Man celebration. That's what I know. So Jahdae Barron would be an upgrade. They have what's his name. Old Ains head coach Dennis Allen there.
Dennis Allen, yep.
Loves to play a lot of cover 1, And
Tyreek Stevenson, Cameron Scott, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
So Jahdae Barron, I don't know if realistically it happens here. I'm with you, Berto. Omarion Hampton, maybe offensive line, left tackle, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But then here, look, Will Campbell to the Niners. Trent Williams replacement. I'm going to ask you, do you think he plays tackle or guard in the NFL?
Campbell?
Yeah.
I would like him better interior.
As a
guard. Yes.
I think he can play offensive tackle because there's one thing he did say today that made sense. He said, there's been film on him for years, but then all of a sudden he can't play tackle because of his quote unquote shorter arms. Hey, he's got a point. He's been one of the best offensive tackles in college. Jake Matthews has technically shorter arms, and he's been solid throughout his whole career, right? So, I mean, he could, if he was selected by the Niners, I could see him kick into guard, play next to Trent, learn from Trent, and then when Trent retires, maybe kick back out because the Cowboys did the same thing with Tyler Smith. Remember that kid coming out?
Yes. Yep.
When he was with Tyron Smith, he kicked into guard, but then when they needed him at tackle, he was able to kick out, and it was no problem for him.
No problem at all. True.
So true. I could see that happening. Now,
this I disagree with a lot here. This Dallas pick, Matthew Golden.
No, I don't. No. I could see them go wide receiver. Now, I could see Omarion Hampton go here as well.
True. Very true.
You would think they'd go defense, but look at the receiving core. Besides CeeDee Lamb, who else do they have?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, Brandon Cooks re-signed with New Orleans.
Yeah, they have a guy named Jalen Tolbert. Are you scared?
Jalen Tolbert.
Are you scared of a Jalen Tolbert?
Not at all. Name doesn't strike fear. I mean, my first name does.
Matthew Golden can play outside, can play inside. Let's be real. I saw someone say the X receiver is kind of dead in the NFL. I agree. It's mainly a bunch of Z's out there. A lot of Mike Evans, even who was drafted as an X receiver, now plays inside the slot sometimes. So I could see a wide receiver taking him. If McMillan's there, I think they go McMillan. Yeah. But Golden, I think, would work out here as well.
I've heard the term big slot receiver thrown around a lot in Mike.
That's what Drake London is.
That's exactly what he is.
That's what Drake London is.
All right.
So now the Dolphins, a surprise here. This is where I thought Malachi Starks would go.
Absolutely. Either him or Jahdae Barron. If Jahdae's slid a bit. Perfect spot.
Yeah, that too, because they need another corner. They just have Jalen Ramsey, and then who else?
Noah. Yep, he's there, but what's his name? Noah Igabani, I think his last name.
No, he's with the Commanders.
Did he sign with the Commanders? Oh, okay.
He resigned with the Commanders. So they take Jahad Campbell, which I guess you pair him with Aaron Brooks over there. And a nice little duo. Okay.
So protecting Tua is not a thing?
Dude, I don't get it. Out of
Alabama would have been dope right here.
I think they go, like, realistically, they either go defense or offensive line, right? Because the biggest thing is you protect your asset. Even though they've got this insurance policy on his contract, if something happens, he's your quarterback, right?
100%.
Why? It's just like the Seahawks. Why haven't you invested in the interior of your offensive line?
Yeah.
Like, why? That doesn't make any sense, right? And I remember when we drafted Chris Lindstrom, people hated the pick. And now look at him.
Fucking everything.
All pro, baby. All pro.
Know it.
Now look at this. 14, Sir Michael Williams.
Solid spot for him.
I actually like this.
I like that spot for him too.
I like this for him. You know, he doesn't have to be the speed edge guy because they do have they have Latu. You put him up against Kwity Paye, and then DeForest Buckner. You just kind of rotate him in there. That's a great spot for him.
Yeah.
Now,
great spot for him to mature. Oh, baby.
You're Atlanta Falcons, right? We're going to look at top available prospects. The first one up is Malachi Starks, and then our boy Mike Green. Then Will Johnson, the 3. I'm not going past that because I think it's going to – if those are the 3 on the board, it's going to come down to those 3.
Yes. Brother, what a scenario, a situation, what a problem.
What a terrible scenario to be in.
If you're Atlanta and those are the guys to pick from, right? So what do you do? What do you do? Do you try and rectify a problem that's haunted this organization since 2012, right? Our last defensive player with more than 8 sacks in a season, Adrian Claiborne, back in 2017. Okay, so obviously we're lacking in the pass rush department, which, by the way, I put out a show on Bleacher Report today saying help wanted, pass rushers needed for these Atlanta Falcons. It's up for the viewing. But yeah, at 15, after the pro day this kid just put out, it's a no-brainer. It's Mike Green. But the problem I have, and I think we spoke about this briefly, is has Mike Green now elevated himself because of that performance out of Atlanta's reach? Could a team before us, like a Miami, like a Frisco, want to entertain and see, okay, what are we doing here?
So realistically, potentially, like he could land in Carolina, he could land in New Orleans. Like we could see that happen. Even Chicago could potentially take him, right? Because they still need help a little bit on the pass rush. Hell, even Dallas could potentially take him. Like he could be gone, and then this makes our decision that much easier because if it's Malachi, if Malachi's there, you take Malachi, right? In my opinion. But in this scenario, and I see Damsky saying build an elite secondary. I'm okay with that.
Me too.
But to me, it's kind of hard. This kid is just he's more developed in the pass rush game than I think Latu was. And everyone knows how much I loved him last year and how much I wanted him there. And now that's not to say he's going to be a 3-down guy right off the bat. You know, we talked about this. He would be a pass rush specialist in his first year while he develops his run game ability, dropping in coverage when needed. That's one thing he did say that he needs to improve on is he barely dropped into coverage at Marshall. And that's something he needs to work on. The run game, I think, is there, and it's untapped. It can be developed. So he would be a pass rush guy on those pass rush downs. So in this scenario, I think we go Mike Green.
Mike Green it is, and that's tough because
sorry, damn Steve.
Malachi is a phenomenal, defensive back, a guy that's in essence kills 2 birds with 1 stone. He could play your safety. He could play your nickel. You could rotate him in and out of those positions depending on how, the defense formulates, right? So very versatile. But again, it's like to what Leonard Floyd said, you want to build a basketball team in a rotation of pass rushers to consistently bring the heat, man. And Mike Green does that. There are other capable pass rushers in this draft, but it's Mike Green, man. I'm all in with that right now, man. It's crazy.
It's tough to pass up. So let's look at what happened after we took Mike Green. Kenneth Grant to the Cardinals. Love that landing spot. They need a true zero in that defense. Shamar Stewart, opposite of Trey Hendrickson. I think this is a great spot for him too. New defensive coordinator that can that throws tomatoes at the front office. Get here, Chris. None of that.
Oh shit!
I'm the front. We're the front office today, okay?
Right. Oh man.
Shamar Stewart, I think great spot. There you go, Seattle.
I would have said Matthew Golden here.
You think so? Well, I guess because you have a shell of Cooper Kupp, you have JSN, and that's about it.
And that's about it.
Don't downplay Jake Bobo, dude. Underrated.
Oh shit. Yeah, hey.
Jake Bobo underrated. But no, in all seriousness, I agree with you. They could go wide receiver, but it's just like they've neglected the offensive line. Charles Cross is on the left side. You move Simmons to the right.
Yeah.
Hey,
your bookends.
Again, just like the Jets, you've got your anchors on both sides.
Yeah.
And then look at our division rivals. Donovan Azuruka.
He's not talked about enough.
He is.
I love Donovan's game.
Now, I did hear someone say he's built like AK with slightly longer arms.
Yeah.
Right?
You can see
I rewatched his film. He's really good at not allowing offensive linemen to really anchor in and lock in. Right?
Yes. Very true.
And that's what makes him so dangerous. Now, how will he handle simulated pressures? Will he translate to the NFL? Because it's I think he will. I think he's got great game, great bend. He relies on his speed, but can he, if he does get anchored in, he does get kind of lost. What's up, Kerry?
Kerry, what's going on?
And then look at the Georgia boy that everyone wants, landing himself in Denver. Wow.
What a treat for Denver. Advanced.
That is a good spot to be in.
Remade their defense with Hufanga and who else? Dre Greenlaw. Adding a Jalen Walker to that defense. Ooh, top tier, man.
Rotating him in because I still think Jalen Walker, he shined at Georgia because, Georgia was loaded, right?
Right.
But he still needs work done. He needs work as an off-ball linebacker that can rush the passer, from time to time. He's not the most, everyone's oh, he's going to be Micah Parsons. No, he's not.
Not yet.
Not yet. Can he be? Yes. Not yet. Anyways, this one, are you surprised the Steelers went corner here with Will Johnson?
No, for me, it's kind of a Steeler-like pick, man.
It's a not only a Steeler pick, it's a steal pick that Will Johnson fell all the way to 21, and they love to play zone man, cover 3, cover 1. Across Joey Porter Jr. and you got Minka Fitzpatrick over the top. Who's the other safety? What's his name?
It's not DeMonte Casey, is it?
No, Matt Casey. No, we ain't talking about crazy Casey. It's the other guy that picked off. He picked off Kirk, I think, in the first game. I can't remember his name. Someone in the chat, if you remember the other Steelers safety, please let me know. And then look at this. There you go, Chargers and Mika Egbuka.
That's fun.
Oh, I love
him and
the Chargers.
Love it.
I love it. Elite route runners. Right, we talked about the true X receiver not being really around anymore. Nope. This is it.
That's it.
The Green Bay Packers investing in offensive line. They need defensive line help.
They do.
I could see a what's his name? Walter Nolan.
He's
Sean Elliott. Thank you.
Sean Elliott.
Yes, thank you. Derek Harmon also here.
No, I think he already went, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
No, not yet.
He didn't. He actually fell to the second round. I saw him.
Jeez.
And then look at this. Brian Flores gets himself Malachi.
Oh, my God. And what a perfect spot for him if it actually shook out like this with Harrison Smith,
retiring next year.
That could be, Malachi's spot right there.
And then this one's laughable. Omarion Hampton to the Texans, please.
Did anybody witness what the Texans did in free agency? They gutted their whole line.
Oh my God! Protect CJ Stroud, please.
Oh, naked bootlegs and play actions are going to be fucking fierce with the Texans, man.
Look at who the Rams took.
I don't want to even see that.
The rich get richer.
Seriously, man.
I honestly don't. Man. I honestly don't think they go defensive line. I think this is a spot for Trey Amos. Honestly, a sneaky first round. Yeah. I think this is where he lands. Maybe plays a little nickel. They re-sign Ankelo Witherspoon, but it's only a 1-year deal. Amos develop and potentially takes over as the starter. And then this one. Go ahead.
No, the wide receiver makes sense here too. A wide receiver for the Rams.
But they're so good at finding receivers in the late rounds.
They are.
They found Cooper Kupp and they found Puka Nacua.
I would have done a bold one here and said fucking the kid from Florida who just posted a not so good 40 Restrepo here to the Rams. But like you mentioned, they do an excellent job finding these late gems and wide receiver that they could afford to take some defensive guy and then find something later on.
I think we're forgetting something. They have Devontae Adams.
Oh, that guy.
That guy that's still got some juice in it. And I think what's his name? Jordan Whittington out of Texas.
Texas, yep.
I think he takes the next step too. I think they found Cooper Kupp. I think he's the Cooper Kupp replacement. Anyway,
he's no Casey Washington.
Carrie, yes, we did take Mike Green at 15. Yeah, we did. Tyler Booker to the Ravens. They need guard help.
Sure. Makes sense.
He's gonna be pretty gassed when Lamar's running around. Tyler Booker's a big boy, but they need guard help. And then Nick Emmanwori.
Oh,
to the Lions.
Nick Emmanwori.
Do you think this makes sense? Because they already have two safeties. Do they kick Brian Branch back to the nickel? Do you think they would do that?
That would be bold. That would be
because Kirby is clearly the free safety. Yep. Emmanwori would be the more of the strong safety, box safety, or
to more three safety looks.
They could go 3 safety looks. Who knows? They have a new defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. That would be an interesting. And then look at this. This one doesn't make any sense.
The Colston
to the Commanders? No, really? It doesn't. They have the same 3. They re-signed Zach Ertz. They signed John Bates, and then who's the other tight end out of Iowa that they drafted last year?
Well, what was Ertz a flash in the pan for you this year? Because it was for me.
No,
I just don't think he could. He can produce again.
I think he can.
The numbers. You think so?
I think he can in Cliff Kingsbury's offense.
But I would want fresher legs and a kid that can stretch the middle of the field, maybe at least a bit for Jaden. They added explosive element with Debo. Him clearing the top and having the middle wide open for Debo to do the work that he did with Frisco. I mean, there's intrigue there for me at least. I just don't think Zach can offer that now at the state of his own game.
And I get that, and that's a fair argument. I would honestly expect them to go edge rusher, potentially DB here, because even though they have Marshawn Lattimore and they have what's his name, Sandrisville, they would ideally like to kick him back into nickel and have an outside corner.
Absolutely.
Even though he proved he can play on the outside.
Yeah.
But we'll see. James Pierce Jr.
Fitting, and he drops only because of the character concern, I think. They have a couple. Don't they have a couple edge rushers on 1-year deals like
Bosa?
Yep, Bosa is one guy. What's the other guy?
They just
Iowa State guy.
Iowa State.
Yeah, I was a big fan of him coming out. Jesus Christ, I'm enjoying a massive brain fart here. What the hell's his name? Epinesa.
Oh, yeah, he's on his last year, so it would be a replacement. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. The Chiefs going Darius Alexander. Are you surprised with this one?
Ooh, no. I think Darius, this is a good spot for him. You start grooming not as a Chris Jones replacement, but someone to play alongside because they did lose Wharton to the Carolina Panthers, so there is a void in that D-tackle room right next to Chris Jones. So Darius Alexander makes sense.
Greg Zabel to the Eagles. There's
this I don't understand.
Well, you kick him into guard. He's not a tackle. He's a guard or a center.
Well, he takes over Mekhi Becton, who's still a free agent. Gotcha.
And they have the best offensive line coach in Philadelphia.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I mean, I could see that. That's a sneaky good pick. And they have a little bit of success from the Dakota State guys. Yeah, Derek Harmon, first pick of the second round. And then look at this. We are creeping up on that hour mark, so I'm going to go a little bit faster in these next rounds. Yeah. Derek Harmon to the Browns, Jackson Dart to the Giants. Okay. They didn't draft. They didn't draft it. Luther Burden to the Titans for Cam Ward. Okay.
Funny. Him and Calvin Ridley, nice pair.
The Jaguars double dipping in defensive tackles, going TJ Sanders.
Yep.
The Raiders, Josh Connolly Jr. Patriots, Nick Scourton.
Love Nick Scourton.
Wow. Tyleek Williams to the Bears.
Did he pop up okay?
So he tweeted out that he cramped and his knee's good.
Oh, gotcha. DA, what's going on?
Caleb Johnson. This doesn't make any sense to me.
None whatsoever.
Caleb Johnson to the Aints, but that's all right. They're going straight offense. Yeah, that's right.
Sure,
Put those old guys on defense out there. Landon Jackson, the Bears.
To the Bears.
Talik Williams and Landon Jackson. Trey Amos to the Jets. Jack Beck to the Niners. And then Alec Ayumaner.
Yep.
To the Cowboys. There's the receiver that we were talking about.
Jackson.
Replaces Will Fries.
Will Fries inside. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then can play tackle as well if you need him to.
Go.
Now we're up. Woo! All right, what do we think? We got our edge rusher. Do we go defensive line again? Or are we looking for defensive backs or linebackers?
Let's see what the linebackers look like, because I think it's still a position of need for these Atlanta Falcons.
Demetrius Knight Jr. is still there. Carson
Schwarzenegger. Interesting. Very interesting. So very limited too.
You want to talk about 1 year flash?
That's Carson.
Chris Paul Jr. I think it's a little early to take Jeffrey Bossa.
Yep. Both of them, actually. Chris Paul Jr. and Jeffrey Bossa. The safest pick is probably Demetrius McKnight. But
yeah, I don't think we go linebacker here with the available guys.
No. What do we got for corner?
All right, let's see. Cornerback. Where is it?
If Porter's there, I'm taking Porter. Oh, Maxwell Harrison.
He's got background issues that I'm out on. Like he has confirmed background issues, not accusations like Mike Green. Confirmed background. Hey, answer me this, Terry. Who's Batman and who's Robin?
Man, fuck.
Who's Batman? Who's Robin? Okay, so look, Siobhan Riddell.
Oh man,
I like Siobhan.
I do too.
I like him.
I do too. Gary Porter, not talked about enough. Guy has first round potential and talent.
No,
I like him.
I don't. As a Ray Thomas,
sure.
Benjamin Morrison, who's fallen on boards because of his injury. And then after that, I don't think we don't go there. You want to look at defensive line?
Let's look at defensive line. I think I said it last week.
Interior?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, like, I was going to bring up a point that I made last week. The interior for me is where it gets it on and popping and lets these guys on the outside, the edge presence, eat. Shamar Turner is a violent human. Omar Norman Lott, I like him a lot as well. CJ West,
that's too early for him.
Too early, sure.
Okay, so the only two I would look at interior is Shamar Turner and maybe Omar Norman Lott. My goodness.
Yeah, say that 3 times fast.
Right. And then let's look at edge.
Prince of Human Yellen. Okay.
Braden Swinson. I like him. Yeah. He's not talked about enough.
JT. Oh, okay. No,
I like JT, man.
I do too, man. Hustler. Very
he's a pocket collapser.
Does he not remind you of what Braylon Trice did in University of Washington?
He does, but he's twitchier.
He's twitchier? Okay.
He's twitchier. So, like, you could have Braylon and him interchange, right? Almost the same identical player. And then you can have AK and Mike Green interchange, right? I'm Robin. That's fine. That's fine.
I don't know, man.
That's fine.
Oh, Lord.
I'm Dick Grayson, right?
So the defensive tackle group doesn't look too inspiring neither, right? Just 2 names.
I'm out on Jack Sawyer. The only one I would want to take here is either Braden or JTT. I don't think interior lineman we go here.
Okay.
I think it's either corner or edge again. What do you think?
Yeah, corner and edge again. With edge being probably the prominent one, because we have a lot of guys that are on 1-year deals, and this is it safe to say this could be a make or break year for Arnold Ebiketie? He's
on a contract year. He's on his contract year.
So we don't know what we're gonna get, right? So although the arrow seems to be pointing up.
You gotta break 8 at least this season, dude.
You have to.
You have to.
Absolutely. So let's go edge. Just
personally, I want to go JTT.
JTT. Let's go JTT. Sure.
All right, here we go. We're gonna speed through this. So now, Berto, what are you thinking? Because our next pick is not until the 4th round.
The 4th round.
Now we're looking on the second level, right? Unless there's an interior guy that you really want.
Yeah, so I want to see what the O linemen what they have to offer. Center for me is crucial, and I know there's so much argument with the Drew Dahlman Ryan Uziel situation. Ryan Uziel is going to come here on a 1-year deal. We don't know what kind of production he's gonna put up for us, right? On limited time, he looked good, not great. So what do we do to elevate that position, right? To keep the cohesiveness going forward with the offensive line. Jake is going to be here for another 2 years. Bergeron's still going to be here. Lindstrom's tied up. McGarry's going to be maybe 1 or 2 years left on his deal. So you still have your mainstay guys. What do you add on to that to make it much better?
Well, Jared Wilson just got taken.
Jared Wilson, did he? Son of a gun.
He just got taken. There goes David Walker,
David Walker. Oh, God. Central Arkansas menace there.
There's your boy Deion Walker to the Jets.
Lord, man. Byron Sorrell.
Aeneas Peebles. There goes Jeffrey Botza. All right. So you want to look at interior offensive linemen
Let's
first.
see what's there. Yep. And then we'll look at the linebacker. Oh! Willie Lampkin. I think I saw his numbers.
It looks like he got shorter. 5'10" and a half?
Right? Something like that. Oh, shit. Right?
But he's got the really long arms. He's the only center I would consider.
Well, Seth McLaughlin was pretty good. He was all right. He was all right.
So let's look at corners.
Let's see. Kobe Bryant. Long, lean corner. Good challenge.
What has everybody been asking for the defense? Attitude. And he brings it. He
don't give a shit.
He will run his mouth, and I like his coverage. His teammate Melo Dotson, Noel Williams, Zy Alexander, and I think that's it. You want to look at safety?
Safety. Let's look at safety. See what's there.
Billy Bowman. Okay.
Physical.
Yes, Billy Bowman. I mean, Jordan Fuller's only here on a 1-year deal. I know people still have hopes and expectations for DeMarco Helms, but we just don't know. Upton Stout. He tested well.
He did.
Caleb
This
Ransall.
is a kid that had a good workout and posted some solid numbers.
So this is the guy, the athlete that someone like Terry would draft, right? Terry drafts athletes. So potentially here he could go. I'm going to look at defensive interior.
Let's do it.
Peeps.
Oh, man, yeah.
Riley Mills, man. Yeah. Burrow. I think the only one that interests me is Peaks. So what do you think? Do we draft another defensive tackle?
Yeah.
Do we go DB or do we go? Oh, we didn't look at linebackers. Let's see what we got.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about the defensive, oh my God, Barrett Carter
is your crush right here.
I gotta stop the masses. I think
you want to go. You want to go Carter?
I have to go Carter. Book, man.
You went JTT for me. I will go Bear Carter for you.
Give me Patrick Queen 2.0. Yeah, damn it. I said it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So
but now the defensive line, it would have been intriguing to take JJ, right? We got to remember Taquan Graham, 1-year deal. Lakeo London, how does he factor in? Also on a 1-year deal. Omanyata, Contavious Street. Omanyata, we don't know his status going into the year or going into training camp. So that's 4 names right there. So yeah, you would have to invest somebody to play alongside Rook in the future.
Whew. And then after that, unless we make any trades, we're going to be sitting on our hands for a while.
Yeah, man.
And there's our forfeited 5th-round pick.
Son of a gun.
You're going to need more tomatoes. Chris.
I know, right? Chris is the troublemaker.
Relax.
Man.
I did see our division rival, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, take Kobe Bryant.
Did he?
They took Donovan Azuruka and Kobe Bryant.
Two-phase.
You want to talk about getting better? That's getting better.
But
I feel like
needed for them because it's such an aging defense.
Right. And then for us, we just need guys. We need guys JTT has a motor. Mike Green has a motor. He's got speed. JTT's got power. You pair him up with, Braylon Trice's expectations aren't that high this next year. AK's got high expectations. So you just kind of marry them. Now you have Barrett Carter develop. Even Caden Ellis is on his last year of his deal too. We don't know what's going to happen after this year.
Exactly.
So here we come, 10 picks later. Oh, I like Taj Brooks to the Commanders. Taj Brooks, very near and dear to my heart. Texas Tech Raid Raider fan here. All-time rushing record holder for them. Ooh, Jake Majors taken right
yeah.
before us. Jackson Slater also would have been someone I would like for center. All right, let's look at offensive line.
Let's do it.
Miles Frazier, Timothy McKay, Joshua Gray, Clay Webb, Drew Kendall.
Yeah. Do we go back to the BC pipeline? Falcons have a great relationship with them.
BC pipeline's worked out pretty good for us.
Sure has. Matt Ryan, Chris Lindstrom.
Yeah.
Shit.
Derek, I don't think we're going to add receiver here. I think
what is there left for receiver though?
All right, let's look. Ricky White. Okay, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Jimmy Horn Jr.
A technician.
Samuel Brown, Will Shepard too. All the Colorado receivers in the 7th round.
Colorado's right.
So, like, there's some good stuff. Brock Taylor even.
Yep.
What about defensive back? Any defensive backs fall? No, none that strike my interest, honestly.
Jabbar Muhammad.
That's a nickel guy. That's a nickel guy.
Yep. 100%.
I think we could get him with 242, honestly.
Yeah.
You want to risk it and not take him?
Yeah, let's risk it.
Okay, but what about defensive interior? Ty Robinson gives you size.
Big body.
Right? Yep. Howard Cross third. I like Thor Griffith. Thor Griffith, I don't think is talked about enough.
Okay.
What are you feeling, Berto?
Yeah, I think defensive line interior. Yeah. And what round are we in? We're in the 7th round.
We're 7th round. These are guys that maybe aren't like day one starters or rotational guys early on. These are guys you like what they have as far as physicality, traits, and you see something there that's not tapped into yet. So who do you think?
The big guy. We need size. We need
Ty Robinson.
Ty Robinson.
All right, let's get it. And then are we going Muhammad if he's there?
If he's there, Muhammad's the guy.
Okay. All right. Go. Thor Griffin, strong MF. Yep.
Yeah.
They're comparing Mike Green to LT. No. Don't compare. Don't ever compare anyone to LT. That's just a different breed. Who I saw initially when I looked at his film and I put it out there on Twitter was TJ Watt. The way he moved. With his hands, his bend, his physicality, that's who I saw. I'm not going to change it from there.
What's left for edge, right quick, before you even tap in?
He's there.
Let's see what left for edge. Let's see.
Okay, hold on. Ethan Downs.
Tony Walker.
Nah. Yeah, there's no one here that I'd be.
Oh, no. Elijah Ponder. 6'4", 270 plus.
6'4"?
I believe 6'3". Well, they say, yeah, I think these it's a little off.
You want to take a swing here instead of going nickel?
I want to take a swing there.
Okay.
Got to remember, Clark Phillips is going to factor in some way, shape, or form. The size does concern you in nickel.
He has to, right, at this point. You also have Natron Brooks, who could play nickel.
Absolutely. This is the 3rd year for that regime where Clark Phillips and Zach Harrison were drafted. These are guys we're expecting to step up in this one here.
I'm going to take your word, and we're going to take Elijah Ponder.
Take Elijah Ponder. I like Elijah Ponder.
Yeah. And that would conclude our draft if we did not trade anything else.
Yeah.
Strictly defense, right? We didn't take one single offensive player. Look at this. Chris, with the round of applause. That was Berto's 7th round draft. Berto knows how to find
listen,
talent.
I have hit on a lot of these mocks. I'm not going to try and toot my own horn, but toot. I did mock the ever famous Michael Penix to Atlanta shtick. So,
but was it in the 1st round?
We're not going to discuss that. We're just going to discuss the fact that it was Michael Penix to the Falcons.
Oh my God! All right, guys. So this is the final mock draft 2.0 for reporting eligible with Berto and Bro Talk. Mike Green, JTT, Barrett Carter, Ty Robinson, and Elijah Ponder. Strictly box players. We got the secondary covered. It's time to stop the run and put pressure on the quarterback. How do you feel about this?
Love it, man. If it went down like this, I'd sleep better at night. I put a tweet out like that before and caught hell for it. I'll say it again. I don't think I'll catch that much hell for it. And with this one, very solid. You're adding pop to the edge group. You're getting a linebacker, a sound linebacker at that, a tackling machine out of Clemson in the form of Barrett Carter. Again, we mentioned we don't know what's going to happen with what's his, Jesus Christ, Caden Ellis down the line, and of course Divine Deblo. We're going to see how he factors in. Troy Anderson, I think, is coming up on a contract too. So we still need an infusion of linebackers or bodies in that room. Ty Robinson, much needed girth or big man, size. We lost Eddie Goldman. So obviously this could be your quote unquote Goldman replacement if you look at it that way. And Elijah Ponder. Yeah, we tripled. Yeah, triple dipped at edge. I love it, says Carrie. Carrie, look at Elijah Ponder. That's my pick, and it got a B+. Yeah, the kid's sound. I think he has over 30 sacks, if I'm not mistaken.
Does he? I didn't see the numbers.
I believe he does. You want to look that up right
Are you ready to catch flack? But he played at a smaller school, Berto.
That's okay. That's all right.
Tape don't lie, right, Berto?
No, man. The fuck?
Tape don't lie.
This
was fun. Man. This was fun.
I gotta see. Hold on. I gotta see what he.
Okay, Berto's got to confirm his numbers. He doesn't want to give you guys misinformation. This is how good Berto is at this.
No, I don't want to. Don't put me there. Don't put me there because somebody would definitely fucking challenge that. Elijah Ponder, close to 20 sacks. Goes to 20 sacks. That's all right. 20 sacks to end his career with Cal Poly. I'll take it.
Wait. In 1 year or?
Oh, no. So he had 7 last year, this past year, 8.5 in 23, and then he came on in 22 with just 1. But I look for the traits, the explosiveness, the hand usage. How do you set the edge? Ponder did it. He did it pretty good in this tape that I saw. He can get after it. So for those reasons, why not give him a shot? 7th round. Why not? You never know what you can strike on.
Right. And, the defensive line, especially edge, is thin. So the likelihood of him making the roster, even if he's the 3rd string guy, I'd rather give him a shot, honestly, than put out D'Angelo Malone back out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But D'Angelo Malone, find yourself back on the special teams there, buddy.
Oh, no.
Right?
He might find his way out. Have you not been privileged to the fucking special teams menaces that we've created? Mike Ford is back.
Well, he's a personal protector guy. He's on the inside. He's not a gunner.
All right.
He's not a gunner, okay?
He's not a gunner. I get it.
Right. So, same thing. Look, D'Angelo Malone, Troy Anderson, AK, all on contract years. So it's time to replace those guys, especially if AK doesn't produce. And if Troy gets hurt again, you can best believe he's gone. Probably going to retire, honestly, after that, because he just can't stay healthy unless another team says, hey, we'll take you out of linebacker, we'll put you somewhere else, tight end, running back, whatever, right? And then maybe he does that. Are you guys doing anything during the draft? Yeah, we'll be doing a live watch party. A live watch party, baby! And you're going to see me do this. I'm not going to yell just yet, but I will yell once the name is called of Mike.
You freaking kidding me? Michael Penix.
Or Michael Penix. If you remember last year, if you were in our watch party last year when Michael Penix's name was announced, this is my reaction. This can't be real, right?
Yeah, dude.
We lost
it, man.
We were all in shock.
Man, Racondo was there that night. Racondo flipped his wig. He was like, "Are you freaking kidding me, man? Michael Penix Jr."
Well, then who was it? Who was it in there? Yeah, Smitty was over here like.
Yeah, Smitty was on a Six Flags ride. He was just waving his arm like, "What are you doing?" Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Hey, Kerry, I don't think I think he's falling because not a lot of people know about him.
Right.
To answer your question about Elijah Ponder, I think he had a good pro day, so he may go earlier than 7th. But if he's there in the 7th for us, it could be a hidden gem.
Definitely, man.
What else you got, Berto?
Oh, man. Listen, bro. I'm good, man. I'm good. This was fun. This was great. 367, close to 370 viewers in one sitting, man. We definitely appreciate everybody from Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. We definitely appreciate the support. Not just supporting us, but all Atlanta Falcon content creators, because there's a lot of great ones out there. So make sure, please tap into when everybody hits on their, hits that live button to go live. But Bro Talk, we're gonna remove this, and please, man, let the folks know where they can find you.
Well, guys, as many of you know I like to keep it spicy on Twitter. Handles right here at BK Squared 7 daily tweets of my thoughts, not just Falcons, but NFL as a whole. Daily content on TikTok at Dirty Bird Central and YouTube as well at Dirty Bird Central. Thank you guys for all your support.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Another show in the books, man. Of course, man, I'm your boy Berto, host of the 95 North Falcons Talk Show. You can find me on there Wednesdays at 8 with Smitty and Chris and company, 9:30 with Bro Talk. You can also find Wednesday's loaded. 6 o'clock, you can find me. That's the start of the day. Bleacher Report, 6 p.m. every Wednesday, Falcons Weekly Topical. 8 o'clock, 95 North Sports Machine is added. Myself, Chris Tipmore, and Antoine Smitty Smith. And then reporting fucking eligible at 9:30. Excuse the expletives, but it is almost 11 o'clock, so we're in that time frame. But until then, we will see you guys next Wednesday night, 9:30 live. Peace, y'all.